So this keyboard is called the Ace60 and it's basically just a Wooting for $19.61. Yeah, that's the whole review. But there's a little more to this story. Classic YouTuber clickbait. I bought this Ace60, a Hall effect cutting-edge rapid trigger enabled keyboard for only $19.61. I bought this from Taobao and you are not guaranteed the same price I paid for it, so especially for the US people with the whole tariff situation and stuff. But since I got a keyboard for $19, I'm gonna review it as a keyboard for $19. In one of my previous videos, I was talking about a whole situation where Wooting was cloned and copied and the whole statement and stuff. Yeah, this video has none of that. Wooting doesn't control what I post on this channel. If anything, this keyboard should actually be a strong warning to Wooting that the Chinese market is coming and they are severely undercutting the market. Well, politics aside, here's the keyboard. The unboxing is pretty simple. The keyboard, cable, switch puller, and they gave some extra switches. And yeah, that's the unboxing. It's pretty simple. So I've been using this keyboard for a whole 5 days. I know, it's a really weird number. I'll get to that. But here's my review. The Hall effect keys are great. I had a good amount of hours gaming on it, and I can say that it has that Hall effect feeling of hypersensitivity that you just don't get on a normal mechanical keyboard. Well, the keycaps itself feel cheap. It's 20 bucks. Although the stabilizers on this keyboard feel extraordinarily good for something of this price. Here's how it sounds like. It sounds hollow, but it does have this really smooth and like no rattle feel. Wooting, please take notes. The software for the keyboard is a web-based driver and it worked really well. But let's be real, I just never touched it ever again after that one 5-minute session I had. People who are like,
oh my god, the software makes up the keyboard.
I mean, I don't normally use the software every day, so I don't think it's really important, but I think it's really nice to have. But yeah, we're probably gonna see more web-based softwares on like future keyboards because it's a very good trend. And let me address something. So in my previous video, I mentioned that Mad Lions copied the Wooting to the T. What I meant was that they copied the design of the Wooting and not the technology behind it, because I'm all for Hall effect keyboards becoming cheaper and Wooting did not invent Hall effect, like let's be real. They were the pioneers, but it's not a technology that they invented. So a few of you guys mistook my point of like how I was flaming the Mad Lion for copying the Wooting, but no, I meant the design. If they went for something like this, which was a very simple and elegant design of basically a plain keyboard, I mean, you got a good gaming keyboard without the whole copyright infringement thing. And as for this keyboard, it's not a copy at all because there's just nothing about it that is screaming Wooting. It's the most normal looking case with normal looking keycaps. As for the 68% version of this keyboard, the Ace68, there's a few hints of Wooting in that because the case and stuff, but it's a 68% version of the keyboard, so it's not a direct copy. Think about that how you will. As for the technical aspects of this keyboard, I'm not going to go too in-depth into it. Techless did a really good review on this keyboard, so I'm going to link that below. I've personally got the lowest end model, the 1000Hz polling rate model, and I can verify after doing the test that this keyboard is indeed 1000Hz polling rate, something the Mad Lions falsely advertised. The TLDR is that they advertised 8000Hz and they sold a 1000Hz polling keyboard. If you want to read it for yourself, here's the link to the post. Here's a picture of me reading it. Here's a picture of me reacting to me. So if the Ace60 is so good, why did I only use it for 5 days? Well, that's all the time I had with the keyboard before it died. Editor, please put the air explosion thing in. So on the 6th day of testing this, I woke up, turned on my PC, and the keyboard just didn't respond. At first I thought it was like a bad boot or something, sometimes peripherals just don't load. So I rebooted the computer and it still didn't work. Then I swapped out the cables. Nothing. So I went to check the driver and it didn't even detect the keyboard. It's like this, it's gone. The keyboard just doesn't even work. My PC couldn't even register the keyboard when I plugged it in. The keyboard, even though plugged in, just doesn't even exist. Didn't have the dung 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 dung. I'm still Windows 10 years. So now here I am 5 days in and my keyboard just turned into paperweight. Was I mad? Yeah, I was mad. Lions68. Oh, why didn't you just return the keyboard? Or why didn't you ask Mchose to like send you a new keyboard? I see you writing, John White. Well, A, if I return the keyboard, it's gonna cost me more to return this keyboard than to just buy a new one. And B, if I do buy a new one or ask Mchose to send me a new keyboard, it's kind of being disingenuous to the keyboard review because I bought it, it broke. That's how it is. I know Mchose might be watching this.
Here I come.
And I'm sorry I didn't tell you anything about this keyboard or that I'm even reviewing it, but I guess I was one of the unlucky ones to get a defective unit out of the box. So, I mean, it is how it is, no hard feelings, I'm sorry. But I didn't really like the keyboard. That's not fair, you're just sucking up to other companies like Wooting, John White continues. Well, I guess I should take down the review of my Wooting and ask them for a non-defective unit, huh? Exactly. Stupid. Stupid. Well, the fact is that I actually do like the Ace60, but in this case, I just don't know whether I should recommend it. And I mean, for $19, you kinda can take your chances. Honestly, I was really adamant about posting this video. So I went to Twitter and asked you guys on a poll whether I should upload the video as is or scrap the whole video. And you guys gave an overwhelming response of upload the video. So thank you guys on Twitter. Please follow my Instagram. I don't use Twitter anymore. So yeah, that's kind of the review for my Ace60HE. So you can find this keyboard linked down below. For the Singaporean guys, you can actually use the Shopee link for 30% off. Buy it at your own risk, but don't come to me if it breaks. And you know, if you have the money, just buy a better keyboard.